Hello everyone, my name is Kevin Giesland. I'm not a financial or tax expert. I'm a real estate investor that is encouraging you to, one, consider real estate, and two, just look at what options finances have available to you. Today's a little bit different video than my normal. I'm going to be talking about retirement. This is one of the videos that I'm going to be displaying that, honestly, as much as I'm biased towards real estate, I'm not pitching it and I'm not even promoting it. I'm just saying you need to look at yourself individually and your numbers. Okay, so what does retirement look like? All right, now people want to retire at different ages. Nothing wrong with that. Some people want to retire by the time they're 50. Some people want to work forever. Myself personally, I would like the option to retire whenever I want, which kind of brings into question the next item here. Something that I did not consider 15 years ago, 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, is, to me personally, there's a big difference between being alive and living. So being alive means your basic expenses, cell phone, rent, car, insurance, and food is taken care of. Living is being able to do what you want to do, okay? I'm gonna give you an example of something that hits really close to home with me. It was an individual I was super, super close with. He was alive, okay? He was in his 60s. He had Social Security and he had one other sort of income, retirement income, that basically offset his expenses. Now, he did have physical handicaps as well, which prevented him from doing some things. But this individual did not travel. He did not go eat at restaurants. He did not go do things that most people would really enjoy doing. In fact, 25 years ago, he loved to go to football games, high school football games. Didn't have to be anything too big. Loved doing that. Didn't even do that, okay? To me personally, he wasn't really living, he was being alive. So he was having his basic needs met, and that was pretty much it. Watching the same TV shows, movies, everything like that each day, never left his apartment. So to me personally, you need to be considering this now when you're looking at your future and your numbers. Do you want to be alive, or do you want to be living in your 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever? One thing that kind of goes along with that is your family. If you've got 4 kids, you're probably going to be hoping that someday they give you grandkids. Do you want to be able to pay for the grandkids to come visit you? Pay for the grandkids to go to Disneyland? Nice gifts, for whatever the case may be. Start considering now, what does your retirement look like? Do you want to be able to travel? Do you want to be able to give? Do you want to be stuck at home, not really doing anything? So, highly encourage you to think of this. Next point here. If you're saving in your savings account, that's awesome. Having a cushion, having money for a rainy day, that's amazing. If you're putting in your 401k, well, that's great too, because honestly, it really is free money. Your employer's paying something that's going to be compounding interest. That's going to be helping. That's good for you. However, to me, you really have to have side hustles and have a plan for those side hustles, okay? So I'm gonna give you an example. I know someone that just started a company recently that's doing IT work, okay? He's gonna take on a few jobs here and there. Hopefully it turns into a business. Hopefully, if all things work out well, that business will grow, and essentially he can be the top dog and have guys underneath him that are doing all the real work. Wouldn't that be awesome? You live in Hawaii and you have to work for 10, 15 hours a month, just kind of tying up bookend and making sure people are doing what they're doing. That'd be great. Started out as a side hustle. Second thing I've seen, many people do side hustles and they plan on where to put that extra income. So let's say my side hustle is mowing lawns and I get an extra $800 a month. We'll just say that. Where could I put that $800 to where in 10, 20, 30 years from now, that's grown tremendously, okay? Now, this is something where I highly encourage you to do your own math, do your own numbers. In my little head, the way I see it is, you know what? Warren Buffett literally makes millions of dollars a year by having stock in Coca-Cola. The dividends that he's getting on that is so great, he literally could stop working and still get millions in. So in my little head, I'm like, man, I'm gonna take $500 a month and put it towards Coca-Cola. So I bought a few shares. Didn't take long before I realized the reason his dividends are millions of dollars is because he owns millions and millions of shares. So realistically, if you're mowing yards making an extra $800 a month, you're probably not going to put that extra $800 towards Coca-Cola and in 20 years have 50 million shares that are making you a crazy amount of dividends. So be realistic with this. Where could I put the funds from the side hustle? I know some folks that are part of an investment group, they do commercial real estate, but they also do a little bit of lending and one or two other things that their average annual return is 20%. Same thing here. If you put $800 a month aside for, let's just call it 5 years, so that's $40,000 to $50,000 after 5 years, and then you get a 20% return on that, what are you going to do with that afterwards? Because in one of my previous videos, I mentioned this individual that has over $200,000 in his checking account, and his interest that he got for the full year was give or take right around $100. That's really not going to do much retirement. Something that really scares me is having $100,000 to $200,000 in the bank account, having a 401k with 500 to $1 million, something like that, and having Social Security, and that's it, those three things. To me personally, I want to be living when I'm in my late 40s, 50s, 60s. I don't want to just be alive. So I want the money to be coming in to be enough that I can go on trips, that I can help pay for someone's first car, that I can give nice tips and help that young struggling family out that I know she works hard and has 2 kids, single mother. Whatever the case may be, I want to be able to do these things. So for that reason, I look at how much am I spending right now? Realistically, if I'm spending $5,000 a month on living, in 30 years, am I still going to be spending $5,000? What am I going to cut out? Well, hopefully I won't have a tractor payment then. Hopefully I won't have this random personal loan that I used for business stuff then. But I do like to travel. I do like to eat out. I do have a house. Something about your house payment. Most folks think, hey, my house payment's $2,500. Cool, in 30 years, I won't have to pay it. Well, that's correct and that's not correct. 1, are you going to move between now and then, get a new loan? But 2, you're still going to pay taxes and insurance. So yes, you may not be paying $2,500 a month, but you're still probably, at least in my neck of the woods here, property taxes are pretty high. And that amount, you're probably still paying $600 to $800 a month. All I'm saying here, ask questions. Ask questions of yourself. Ask questions of your spouse and other family members. Ask questions about your savings account, about your 401k. What other side hustles could you do? What do you want your retirement to look like? So hopefully this is kind of opening your mind a little bit, just making you think about your situation specifically. Because to me personally, I don't want to have extremely minimal income and then have to figure it out in my 60s. You see it on the news with prices and everything going up. And with my day-to-day job that I never like to talk about on these videos, I see it all the time. People are extremely tight on their funds in retirement age, and they don't exactly have a lot of wiggle room. That's something that I really think you should consider and think about now as to how to help you in 20, 30, 40 years from now. So take this information and just think about it. Look at your numbers, look at your situation, map out what you want your 50s, 60s, 70s, and hopefully 80s to look like. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, there's more to come. Subscribe here, and y'all take care. God bless. Bye.